So anyway, like I was saying, folks, the next bit of news that I want to bring up, I want to push back to the excuse me, the video with Joe Biden. I want to bring you some of the audio when he was questioned about the whole thing with Russia and the cyber attacks that's been going on. I want everyone to listen to this because it's actually pretty, like I said, it's disturbing, folks. This is the person who's in charge of the free world. This is Joe Biden. So here we go.
The most recent hack by the Russians. Would you say that this means
We're not sure it's the Russians. I got a brief, and I'll be in better shape to talk to you about it.
And he reaches in for cue cards.
I'll tell you what they sent me. The idea, first of all, we're not sure who it is for certain, number one. And what I did, I directed the full resources of the government to assist in a response.
Well, that was Joe Biden, folks. Excuse me. I mean, that was Joe Biden. That was our president, folks. That's what we get. The man reached in for a cue card. A list of answers when someone asks him a question. He pulled out this folded up piece of paper and unfolded it. It was about that long. And it's just, he's reading off of cue cards. Oh, this is just, it's not even funny anymore. I mean, it is not even funny. And you want to talk about other things, like I said, going on. You want to talk about the whole thing. Now he's tap dancing with this whole thing now. I'm going to let everyone... I'm going to read this article that came out today as well. It says, White House says that the new ransomware attack, not yet attributed, vows to take action if Russia doesn't. Well, we just heard Joe Biden go on about, well, where's my ice cream, my pudding. No, this isn't Bill Cosby. But he didn't even know if it's the Russians. You heard it. Our intel doesn't even know if this is Russian related. And yet you have headlines going, yep, this is a Russia cyber attack. Now, I don't have any doubt, folks, that, Vladimir Putin and different adversaries of ours are indeed behind the cyberware attacks. I don't think anyone disagrees that they're not behind some of this. But now you've got a bunch of different businesses now in the United States. This is happening again now. First it was the oil, then it was the meat. Now it's actual just U.S. businesses. But we have now ransomware, up to 70 million ransomware attacks going on, and people asking for huge amounts of U.S. money in order to get everything back up and running again. So, excuse me. So you have these cyber attackers now. And again, no one in the government and the administration sees that this is an issue. What do we get? We get the tap dance from the Joe Biden administration. It's, well, this is U.S. businesses. It's minimum damage. They'll just have to do the best they can and up their security. Yeah, but when it's shutting things down in this country, folks, and I mean, these are major things that's getting shut down. The government should be involved in that. But I mean, what's next? Are they going to attack our nuclear arsenal? Shut it down? Shut our defense systems down? I mean, excuse me. These are actual questions, legitimate questions that need to be answered, and nobody in this administration seems that this is a serious issue. But I mean, for crying out loud. I mean, they don't know who's responsible, according to Joe Biden. But we all know who's behind all these attacks, folks. They see a weak, frail man as the commander-in-chief. Why would they not strike? And of course, like I talked about here a couple weeks ago, at the G1 summit, when Biden and Putin met, what happened? Well, I gave him a list of things. Please don't go on my list here. You can't attack us in these central areas. That's Joe Biden. I mean, that is Joe Biden. Excuse me. Fighting a cold here. I mean, Joe is lost, folks. And again, I'm getting back to the same topic because it is. Then if something happens to him, we're stuck with giggles. But again, you've got Democrats even coming out today. Actually, Republicans, independents. There was a poll out today. That was a survey that was taken with Democrats, Republicans, and independents. And the question was asked, is Joe Biden really in charge? 56% of Republicans said no. 41% of Democrats said no. You had 35% of independents come out and say no. Joe Biden is not the man in charge. So the question is, it's kind of like when you watch the movie The Wizard of Oz. Who's the man behind the booth? Pulling the levers. Because it's not Joe Biden. And I mean, it's a serious question. It's not Joe Biden, so who is it? Oh, and it's not funny anymore. I mean, it's really not. I mean, I started to laugh about this at the beginning, but it's a serious thing now, folks. I mean, and this comes at a really bad time because now you've got, the president of China. He basically said in a summit here the other day it was for representing the communist of China's, was it their birthday, their national communist, celebration for all the years that they've been a communist country. And they even vowed that there's going to be war. They vow that they're going to be going in and taking over Taiwan, which we're supposed to be protecting. So what is Joe going to do? What is Joe Biden going to do when everything comes crashing in on his administration? I mean, we can't even get our border under control. Crime rate has surged so bad. Did you see? Excuse me. Did you see over the weekend? Crime was up everywhere for the 4th of July. Chicago had over 400 violent attacks for the 4th of July. I mean, this was across the board. It wasn't even just in Chicago. I mean, it was all over the U.S. And we still haven't heard anything from this administration. Nothing. All you hear from them is guns are bad. Guns are the problem. Guns are bad. Let people out of prison. Guns are bad. Well, everyone's buying guns and ammunitions. I mean, you can't even find ammunition right now because people are having to protect themselves because, once again, like I said, we're back to defund America, defund the police, defund security. It's a serious thing. Getting back to, my episode here, which is basically I'm just summing up the attack that's going on America by the Democrats and the woke culture and this this crazy movement where, you know, America is bad. Did everyone see yesterday? Not only did we have that Olympic hammer thrower, Gwen Berry, like I talked about at the beginning of the podcast here, but we also had other Olympians when a World War II veteran was playing the national anthem on his harmonica. They turned their backs to him. We're talking about a veteran who fought in World War II for you and I's freedoms and for our rights. And we have a younger generation being disrespectful that's supposed to be representing the United States as well, turn their backs on a veteran who has probably seen friends come home in boxes with the flag draped over them. I just want to say to people, does anyone in our younger generation actually know anything history-wise about the United States? Does anyone know anymore what we fought for and all the wars that we've been in? We were not the bad guys, folks. We went in and liberated countries that were taken over by crazy individuals who wanted to watch the world burn. Hitler was a bad man. We had more people die in the Holocaust than I think anyone really realizes. We had men and women that were heroes that gave their all, and they didn't come home. We had men and women that got out of boats knowing they had maybe several seconds to live as they stormed the beach of Normandy. But you have this younger generation that just hates America. And of course, where did they get it? Schools and universities. This whole critical race theory. And I don't understand why people don't hold these schools accountable. You have poisoned the last 2 or 3 generations to hate America. There was a New York Times article yesterday and today, and it basically stated that the American flag was bad, and that they don't feel that it's a symbol of to bring us together anymore. That symbol they don't feel can bring us together as a country. What in the hell are people thinking? When you take the American flag, which is much history as it has behind it, that represents freedom to the world, and you flip it around and you say, no, it's a bad thing. That's nuts. That is nuts. I have my American flag on my front porch. It flies year-round. That's as bad as these people go on, well, you shouldn't fly it year-round. It's a holiday thing. The American flag is a holiday thing. It's not like it comes out for like something with Halloween or Christmas. It's a symbol of this country. Men and women died for that flag. When you go onto a military base, that flag doesn't touch the ground, folks. Have you ever seen them put a flag to rest that's battered and torn? They fold it up, they do a ceremony, and they burn it. If this country was ever invaded, do you know what they do if a flag is, if a base or a place is getting ready to be taken over and the flag is flying, what they do? They've got a whole ceremony of what they do so that the flag can't be taken. I don't know if anyone ever knows that or not. I do, because I know military tradition, because I'm a veteran. Many people in the public don't know that. And then this was the greatest one with this whole attack on America. And the Democrats, the far left, are not hiding this. They really are not hiding this, folks, at all.